Hey guys, look what I have here. A JP trigger for PCC, and I got this from JP Enterprise website, and what I wanted to see is whether it can fit my BNT APC9 Pro lower. My current APC9 Pro, it has this Elfman trigger, which is for AR9, and it is confirmed by the Elfman Tech. I think it's called Elfman Tech, right? Official saying it works with BNT, and now I'm really interested in seeing whether this JP Enterprise, which is a super cool and badass trigger, whether it works on the BNT APC9 Pro. I shot an email to JP and asked them, hey, whether it will fit. They said they're not sure, but if the lower is kind of AR9 platform standard, it should fit. So here we go today. Let's try to install it and find out. So a kind of a small box opening experience. This is what it looks like for the JP trigger. And this one is I think the drop-in trigger version, and they have a different version, that they slightly different version is not like fully assembled and drop in, and I forgot what is it called. That is the version that they recommend if you buy a JP PCC from them. So yeah. So let's see, it has the trigger, it has some anti-walking pins, some safety selections. This is called the safety, what do they call it? Safety drum, I think. Yeah, so, and this is my APC lower. And by the way, if you have noticed that this is actually the aluminum version. So, I guess I'm gonna try to make my APC9 more limited, because if you are aware, I think APC9 recently BNT released a version that they call APC9 Pro Limited with this aluminum lower with the ELF trigger, right? And now that since I have the ELF trigger and now I have the aluminum one, I really want to see whether I can create a build that has the aluminum lower with the JP trigger. And with that, it's gonna be a super limited, super unique and cool, APC that you'll probably ever find. So let's start and see. First, for the I have removed the factory trigger here, and I have removed the safety selector. Now let's follow the instructions here, right? So take the trigger out. Now we need the tension set screws. By the way, they have two different kind of springs for you to choose, and we can come to that later. Oh man, I should have got my knife. Anywho. And first, let's do a little bit cleaning, because these set screws, they do not like oil or dirty dust or whatever. Here's some Allen wrenches that they give. Okay, so how I like to do this is this evaporates really fast. Okay, let's wipe it down just like this. Oh, it's actually pretty clean. I think they deep clean it already. See, there's not much dirty stuff that you can see here. Okay, that's good. So now they're saying turn this one into the set screw housing. No, I think it's just, yeah, turn the set screws into the housing until they protrude from the bottom of the housing at least 1/8 of an inch. Okay, I can do that. So how much is 1/8? I don't know, but let's just get enough, right? Apply a small amount of Loctite 263, which is the red Loctite. I have 271, but I think it should be okay. Apply a small amount to each tension screw, then turn them back in so that they're flush with the bottom of the housing. Okay, I think we're gonna do this quick because we want to do all the other kind of operations or whatever we need to do before it cures. I think these guys tend to cure within 10 minutes or so. So I tend to let it turn a couple of more times so that the Loctite can be evenly applied to all threads. All right. Okay. Instruction says turn them back in until they're flush. Okay. Tensioning these screws is critical for safe, reliable function for sure. Yeah. Now, number 3, cock the hammer and insert the module into the receiver's fire control pocket. Here we go. Drop right in. Now apply a small amount of Loctite, blah blah blah. So the next option is the next operations is to install the JP's safety selector and a safety drum and everything. So we're gonna skip that because I want to keep the B&T original safety selector, and because I briefly tried, it should work. So we'll just leave with that. And apply a small amount of grease, blah, blah. So that is also to the safety detent, all that kind of thing. I've already got some grease and everything for on the detent and on the selector here. So, as you can see, no worries. And install the safety selector, blah, blah. You may have to tilt the trigger module in, blah. Okay, so basically this is to put the safety selector back in position. Easy. Okay, now let's install the other side. Where did it go? Here. As you can see, I have also ordered, this is the spring, this is the detent pin. I also ordered the safety deletion thing from HB Industry because I really don't like the factory one, the factory safety selector. On the right side, I really want the delete, because when I rest my my finger, I don't want anything to be sitting here in between, and it doesn't feel good. Okay, let's move fast. Now, next one, keeping the safety drum, blah. Okay. Now, install the anti-walk pins. Okay, the thing to call out is the B&T pins will not work anymore because it's too loose. There's no spring or whatever from B&T that can sit in the groove to prevent it from walking. So for this, we're gonna use the JP's parts. All right. using OK, keep it centered, and we're gonna, yeah, keep it centered, and we're gonna insert the anti-walk pin. Oh, okay, please don't tell me their anti-walk pin is thicker than the hole. Please, please don't. Oh my gosh, that is bad. Their anti-walk pin is thicker than my APC hole. Okay, that is good to know. Which is not good, and I don't want to force it in because I do not think it will ever go in at all. Okay, what do we do here? Well, okay. Is it really that much different? This is the BNT one, and this is the JP one. I think they look almost identical. They're probably just by a hair. Yeah, just by a hair thicker. Can't really tell by looking at it, but they are. Okay, so how about we just insert these ones in and worry about it later, okay? We'll worry about the how to make the trigger pin not walk out. Okay, we're gonna probably just try to find some alternatives, other aftermarket parts. Okay, anyway, center the housing within the fire control pocket and tighten down the tension screws at the back of the module. Tighten slightly on alternate side to evenly distribute pressure. Do not tighten more than 8 inch-pound, and as this could damage a lot of. Okay, let's start tighten this down from each side so that, can you see this? Yeah, so that the pressure is applied more evenly. Okay. I think I might turn the left side one a little bit too much before I tighten the right one. I don't know, sometimes I just feel, I just kind of think too much or you know, panic over this. There might be a shield plate that you can use to prevent this thing from the set screws to be grinding on the bottom of the lower, probably. Yeah, because I remember I have that for my ELF trigger. So I guess eventually I'll look for a plate to kind of let it sit in between, which, you know, but the red Loctite is also getting cured. Anyhow, I'll think about that later. And let's see, keeping the safety selector in place, re-secure the grip while making sure the safe detent and the spring engage with the safety detent groove in the safety drop. Yeah, so basically it's saying, you know, test this out. Now, verify function, okay? With the hammer still in the cocked position, verify that the safety turns freely. All right, with the safety in the safe position, make sure there's a little to no movement of the trigger and that the hammer cannot drop. Okay, let's try to, yep, there's absolutely no room. And let's see whether, let's put a finger here. It cannot drop the trigger at all. There's zero movement. Now with the safety in the fire position, the trigger should release the hammer with little or no perceivable creep. Do not pull the trigger without controlling the fall or without a JP hammer stop block, blah, blah, because this could damage it. Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's try it. Yep, super short and crisp. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is so good. Oh, you see that? I think I'm already loving it. I think, you know, sorry if I had to compare the JP trigger with the ELF trigger, but oh my god, I'm already loving it. Okay. Verify function of the trigger with the trigger pulled to the rear. Manually with the trigger pulled to the rear, manually cock the hammer. The hammer should snap over disconnector hook and be held in place, right, until the trigger is released. Verify that the disconnector releases hammer and the hammer catches on the trigger sear when the trigger is released. Yep, I think it is doing exactly what it should do. Is there anything that might seem incorrect? No, I think install the second safety lever on the right side block, that's fine. Okay, swapping trigger screws or swapping springs, that's another story. I think this is it. All right, now we have a couple of things to worry about later, which is all fine. We'll worry about that. So now let's do a comparison with this limited APC lower with my current APC not limited, which is, you know, a slightly upgraded version with the ELF trigger, you know. So wait, oh, here. Yep. So this is the ELF trigger. It's still very good and very crisp, right? But I think, how about we just swap it out, install this bad boy, and let's have a more concrete kind of apple to apple comparison. This is my old one, the plastic one. As you can see, there's a ELF trigger in it. By all means, it's a really good trigger, okay? I do not intend to make it look bad or anything like that. You know, let it be there. Okay, let's install it to the upper. Sorry guys. Let me put aside the old lower, and here we go. Can we put the picture bigger? Here we go. Check it out. It looks, I don't know. Do you say pretty good, to say the least? You know, okay, let's cock it. And let's see. This is not firing, no movement at all. Super steady, and not steady. It's not super kind of, what do you say? You know, there's no giving, no play. All right. Oh, good. All right, so I'll try. I'll probably just hit the range tomorrow and then shoot with this trigger and see how it feels, you know, and I'll report back. See how's the functionality, how it functions, right? If it functions, you know, with zero problem, then I would definitely call this a huge success. And I really love the looking of this trigger and the feeling. I think the trigger pull is probably the same as the ELF one, and or even a little bit heavier maybe. But the yellow spring, if I remember correctly, is probably a little bit lighter. But according to JP, they say the pre-installed hammer spring is our red increased reliability spring. It is intended for large frame AR-10 style rifles, rimfire applications, or for use of NATO. Oh, okay. If none of these apply to your setup, this spring can be changed out for the included yellow competition hammer spring, which provides excellent reliability with most type of brass case ammunition with a 3 to 3.5 pull weight. They didn't really say the red one. The red spring is how much? What's the weight? But it sounds like the yellow spring is lighter. Okay, I might just try that after I solve the other, you know, remaining open problems, such as the protection plate below the trigger and also the trigger pins. How do we make them not work out? Alrighty, that's about it. Thank you for watching. See you next time.